In this department we scan transparencies, which is comprised of film-based negatives and glass plate negatives in all sorts of formats and varieties. The biggest project we have done the last year is called Images for the Future. It's a partnership between the Dutch Institute for Sound and Vision, the National Archives and the IE Film Institute in Amsterdam. They have a collection that's about 1 million pieces of negatives. We started in November 2009 and in this year, it's now February 2011, we've scanned over 1 million negatives. To be able to scan this project, we had to meet very high standards that the Images for the Future project set out. But we also wanted to maintain a high volume, a high production capacity. In order to scan a high volume and to meet the required standards, we figured out our own system. By scanning 1 million negatives a year, or this past year, we set a new standard. So I can say that I'm very proud that we met our own standard of volume and we met the standard set out by the Images of the Future project, and that is the high quality. Well, the way we did that is by making custom-made sets. One of the biggest problems we had to deal with was dust. Because the negatives are scanned and blow up later for a print or a download on an internet site, every dust particle you see on a negative is blown up also. So we had to come up with a way to remove all the dust from the negatives before we scan them. That's the reason why we developed a machine for that. Because it's always old material, more or less 50 years old, and because it's packaged by the customer, they also take dust particles with them. And it's very important for us to remove it before we start scanning them. The different kinds of materials that we can scan are, well, to start off with film-based negatives. That's what we do, what we mainly do. Those are all kinds of formats. 35mm, 6x6, 4x5 inch, 8x10 inch, doesn't matter. Other than that, we have glass plate negatives. We have 2 sets built in the National Archives in The Hague on location to scan glass plate negatives over there because they're more fragile. Other than that, we can scan X-ray films, color slides, color negatives. In short, we can scan everything that's come out of a camera. The rate of scanning per day is approximately 2,000 images per set per day, and that's only scanning. After that, we have to work on the negatives to make them, to add contrast or brightness, and that's about the same. One person can work on 2,000 images a day. We work mainly with students, so they're very young people, and the fun part is that most of those people haven't seen a negative in their lives. They're used to digital cameras, but they haven't seen a film-based negative or a glass plate negative, and now they're scanning all those formats and materials. So we have to learn them how to look at a negative, to see the emulsion side or the other side, and to see if it's not on a mirror image or whatever. So it's a steep learning curve for the young people that we have as a colleague here.